Namaste. Welcome to Sacred Sunday Sadhana. Take a moment to align yourself with your truth by letting your breath join your spiritual body, your mental body, your physical body together. Light a candle, get yourself some tea. Just settle in for some time that's just for you. The more and more and more I become in tune with my true self, my inner voice, with the divine spark inside of me, the more I also feel in tune with the moon and the stars and the planets. And this particular full moon that occurred on Friday, and then really I felt it all through Saturday as well. It was powerful. Did you feel it? The full moon was in Leo. And it brought out a lot of things that needed to be said. You know, the full moon is about illuminating what is. On the new moon, we put out our intentions and we put it out there, what it is that we need and what we want to cultivate in the world. And then on the full moon, it's kind of like we're just sitting in the bath of light, just noticing what's here. And it's not really a time to affect change. It's more of a time to just notice what's here, what have I created, what has been manifested in my life. And then we just sit with our choices. I wanted to make this video be about creating a morning practice and an evening practice. I remember in 2008, I was taking a course. It was a Spirit of Learning course at Body Therapy Institute in Siler City, North Carolina, with Carrie Elizabeth Smith. And a student, whose name was Julia, a student asked Carrie, what do you do in the morning? Like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up every morning? And I was 28 years old at the time, and the question intrigued me, but it wasn't something I would have thought to ask. You know, at the time I was a young mother, and so the first thing I did in the morning was take care of my child and take care of my husband, and maybe I'd get around to taking care of myself. It was back then before I was putting everyone else's needs in front of my own, as young mothers in this culture do. But there was something about the question that really stuck with me, and the teacher, who I still think of as a mentor, described to us that she did a specific set of exercises in the morning, and then she had like an hour of just alone time with her thoughts. And I'm not sure exactly what else was her exact response, but I just remember, and then I revisited that concept years and years later. I thought, you know, the first thing I do in the morning really matters. It really sets the day. And I started thinking about the things that I did, and usually, honestly, it was reach for the phone, you know, check my email, check my texts, maybe check Instagram, even like check my bank balance, as if that's somehow gonna make my day different. I might even check my credit score. But I wanted my mornings to start differently. So around 2013, when I graduated from my first yoga training program, I started letting the very first thing I did every morning be a sun salutation. It's simple. It takes 3 minutes. And when I say first thing, I mean like literally the first thing when I get out of the bed. So at that time, it was hard for me to not reach for my phone first, but I did it. And I established my original daily practice. And I still do my sun salutation every morning without fail. And I have a specific mantra that I say to myself when I'm doing it. And that is, I am a source of pure love and light in the world. And I reach my hands, my fingertips above me, and I press them together. And I imagine light coming out of my hand. And then I begin. And it's amazing to have a daily practice, a morning ritual, because no matter where you are in the world, no matter what's happening in the world, you know, death and destruction, joy, new beginnings, new relationships, children going through rites of passage. No matter what's happening, I know that I can count on my daily ritual to be the same. So do you have a daily practice? I feel like when we talk about it in a yogic context, it can get really intimidating because people might think it needs to be elaborate, or you might say, I don't do yoga. It doesn't have to have anything to do with yoga. It's whatever feels right for you. This week, I've also started incorporating a nighttime ritual that I do, whether I'm in my bed or if I'm spending the night at my boyfriend's. No matter where I am, I go to the end of my bed, on my knees, and I just do an intention setting for sleep where I realign myself with my true purpose. I forgive myself for anything that took place during the day that I may have behaved differently than I wanted to, or I may have taken something someone else said personally, and I don't rewrite it and see how I could have done it differently. It's just very simple. I just forgive myself, and I set out that tomorrow I will be in alignment with my true self, and I will move through my day with grace. And now I will sleep in peace, and every cell in my body will be just full of love and regenerate and heal. And then I go to sleep. In the morning, I'm not a good sleeper, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. In the morning now, I've added a new ritual that I'm doing every morning. And I learned this from Jose Ruiz in the authenticity apprenticeship that I'm doing with the Ruiz family, Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. and Don Jose Ruiz. And what I do is light a candle. I sit on my knees, and I actually put my candle on my windowsill. You can put yours wherever you want if you'd like to do this, but first I set a little prayer or intention for myself, which has just been, today I will be in alignment with my true self. I will feel authentic. I will use my true expression, and I will not get caught up in taking things personally and making assumptions. Instead of having hope that things will get better or that someone will do something, I will remove all of that expectation. I will unlearn hope. And instead, I'm going to act out of trust, of blind faith, and of the pure divine light within me. So that's a mouthful. And don't use mine. Like, do what speaks to you. Don Jose also recently said, find your voice. Find your true voice. Find the true words that represent what you need. And you'll find them by listening to yourself, not by listening to me. Because if you're just saying my words, then you're a parrot. You're just being a parrot. You're using someone else's medicine to get what you need, and it doesn't work that way. So find your own medicine, find your own voice, and say what you need to say. And then the act of lighting the candle, in a yogic sense, I think of it as tapas. It's lighting the tapas, lighting the flame that burns up everything that's no longer useful. And in this particular training, lighting the candle is relighting your intention to move through the day with grace, with truth, with impeccability. If I can impart just one thing from today's Sunday Sadhana, it's to realize that you are the love of your life. And so perhaps part of your intention setting for the day, whether you're lighting a candle or just closing your eyes and taking some breaths and having a moment, maybe, if it feels good and makes sense to you, maybe you can try being there for the love of your life, showing up for the love of your life, doing everything you can to ensure that the love of your life has what she needs, what he needs, and is met. And it's been a really incredible few days, just rewiring my patterning and resetting myself. And this whole lesson this week with the Ruiz family has been unlearning hope, and that hope is actually not a positive thing. Hope is just expectation. Hope is setting up It's setting yourself and others up for failure. So instead of hoping that it's going to be a certain way, you simply trust that it's going to be a certain way. Play with that, because that's taking me a lot of training and a lot of time to accept and understand. So if that's intriguing to you, dive more deeply in. And if it's not intriguing to you, then let it go. But just know that you are the love of your life, and perhaps setting an intention to do and create the most beautiful world for the love of your life can help set your whole day right. I think that's enough. I think I'll end there. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that you take some time to get outside, barefoot if you can, if it's not too cold. And I'm really trusting that you will be in alignment with your highest self and do the best for the love of your life. Namaste.